Fam, look at what I saw when Michael came back from school. Can you imagine what a teacher did to Michael's teacher? Can you imagine what Michael's teacher did to him? So he didn't tell me. I just saw it. I'm like, what is this on his forehead? He was even trying to defend the teacher. He just told me that the teacher beat him, hit him with a cane, and he got hurt. Since Dabe also Dabe. And Andre because Andra me who Andra me who and they are not the ball. Let me see. Guys, can you see? Oh yeah. Sorry. I have to go to that school tomorrow. Why are some teachers like that? How can you use a cane to hit a child's forehead to the extent of hurting him? Like why? I remember when we were in school in those days. Our teachers used to beat us. Then you see marks all over our body, all over. I remember one time a teacher used a cane. I have migraine, so it has affected my eyesight. So when I was little, a teacher used one big cane. I was like in class 3. Yes, I think I was in class 3 by then. I remember vividly, so clearly. That teacher, I'll never forget him. He beat me, used some huge cane. You see that cane they soak in water and it will become very big. He joined like 3 or 4 and he tied it with a rope. So the cane was so thick and he just hit my head with the cane. I cried and cried that day. I cried. I went home and my eyes became red. I felt sick that day. At that time my mom had traveled. So when my mom came back, I was so sick. And she asked me what was the matter. Then I told her that a teacher used the cane to hit me. I was even afraid to say it because when you say it and you go to school, the teachers will bully you more. The other teachers will be like, why did you tell your parents? Why? Can they, if they can teach you, they should come to the school. So when we are bullied at school or when teachers beat us, we don't report because we are afraid of what other teachers will do to us. My mother just came to the school to do aluta. I trust my mother. What my mother did, my mother reported the teacher to the headmaster. At that time, it was headmistress at that time. The school belonged to a woman. She reported the teacher to the headmistress. Was talking and crying because we had no father at that time. Our dad had left us. You know my story. My mom was a single mother taking care of us. My mother used everything in her. She was talking. Then she started crying. She was like, they want to kill my child. They want to kill my only daughter. You know how my mother loves her children. They took me from the teacher's class. I remember they took me from the teacher's class to another class. And when I went to the other class, the teacher I got there was so good. Like that teacher was so good. My old teacher was like the evil master of the school. I didn't like that teacher at all. And look at what is happening to my little boy. Like I took him to that school to go and learn, to acquire knowledge. When Michael came and I saw it, I've already spoken with him before showing you people. And I'm like, what did he do for him to hit him to the extent of creating a mark here? A wound. Like he wounded, the teacher wounded this little boy, this 6-year-old boy. Tomorrow morning, I will take him to school and ask his teacher, what exactly did he do for him to do that to him? I will ask him. Maybe like, I think this boy hid this thing from me. I was even telling him that I'll take you to your school tomorrow. He said, the other teacher said the teacher didn't do it intentionally. Michael has 2 teachers in his class. So one is one is a female. Yeah, one is a female and one is a male. I'm going to the school tomorrow. I'm going there tomorrow because I'm someone who is so peaceful by nature. I don't want wahala. Like I don't want stress in my life. I won't insult you. I'll respect you if you respect me. I respect all teachers. Like I give respect to all teachers. I never underestimate a teacher. Like I don't take teachers for granted because it's not easy to teach small children. It's not easy. You need patience to teach small kids. And I know Michael, anytime they vacate and they bring his report card, like his report card, when I read the teacher's remarks and the headmistress remarks, I see that they write Michael is calm and gentle. Like he plays with other kids. The only thing he does is he's not serious. He likes playing a lot, which I've also noticed, but we are now doing something about it because he likes playing a lot. So he's so calm and gentle in school. When he's at home, it's a different ball game altogether. He's like harsh. He's so giddy at home. So when his teachers told me that he's gentle and calm at school, I was so surprised. I'm like, how? How is Michael gentle at school? Because I know my little boy. He's giddy 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 giddy. He doesn't stay at one place. He's so hyper, so strong and hyper. But when he goes to school, he's so calm. The teacher was like, he's calm. I'm like, how? So I read his terminal reports, his report card, and I saw it in his card. From all the terms, Michael is calm and gentle. I'm like, how? How is this boy calm? So if this boy is calm and gentle in school, why would you, a teacher, beat him? I'll go to the school tomorrow and I'll give you feedback when I come back. Yes, I'll go to the school myself tomorrow. Ask the teachers politely, because I'll not go with violence. No, if you are going to meet someone who has wronged you, you don't go with violence. Yes, that's one thing I have learned. I'll go with a calm nature, and I'll listen to the wise thing or the sensible thing the teacher will tell me. If the teacher starts giving me fire for fire, then I'll also bring out my fire in me, because I'll go with humility. Yes, I'll go with humility, and I'll see what the teachers have to say, or the headmaster. I'll first of all go to the headmaster's office before they'll take me to the teacher, because I don't understand. I don't understand this. How can you hurt? This reminds me so much of when I was in school. Like the pain one teacher caused me when I was in school. I'll never forget that day. I'm so hurt. Like, how can you do this to a child? If he does something, you just call the parents and report. This is crazy. Yeah. So it's the next day, and I want to take Michael to school before I go to work. So I want to go and ask the teacher and the headmaster what really happened, like what he really did to merit such treatment. Me, I'm all for discipline. Yes, I'm all for discipline, but you can't discipline a child to the extent of inflicting injuries on the child. You get me? You can discipline the child, but you shouldn't inflict injuries on the child. So I really want to go and ask. I'm not going to cause any trouble, but I want to go and make inquiries, because I'm still not okay. My instinct doesn't tell me that everything is okay. So let's go to the school together. I will not show you the school because of security reasons. So anything I can capture, I will capture, so that it will serve as an evidence. Tino, let's go. Michael, why are you ready? Why are you ready, Michael? See, look at what I was talking about. Mommy, share. Yes, I mean to bottle now. Mommy, share. Eh, and I put with the heights I can see you, Anna. John ye. Oh, yeah, some more. Guys, you see. Bessie. Bessie, Moko. Bag Nancy, your book only today. Look at the book she's taking. There, dome. Now, more lucky getting man. Man could, yeah, Michael, dome. Daddy, Runo. Young call the Uncle Pajama. Mabama, let me trash this mask. So let me sit down and talk. Gang. Say be. Let me get to my room. Let me wash my hands first. Then we'll talk. Yeah, my people. So I'm back. So I said. I told you I couldn't film there because of security reasons. You know, this YouTube there, you have to be extra careful when it comes to your kids. Can't expose his school. Get me? So I met his teacher at the assembly ground. I asked him politely. I was like, please, what happened? And he said they were playing in the classroom. Like some kids were playing in the classroom, and Michael was standing beside them. So he was holding like some drumstick. Yes, I think he was holding a drumstick, and he was about to hit the other kids. Then it accidentally hit Michael. So the Michael didn't do anything. I was like, me, I asked him, did Michael do anything? Because I know my little boy. I know he's a bit naughty. Yes, I know him. When he's at home, he's very naughty. So I was like, sir, please, did Michael do anything for you to beat him to this extent? And he was like, oh, no. He wanted to call me yesterday, but he didn't have my number. Then I remembered, I was like, but the school has all parents' number. The school sends us messages on phone and email. The school has all parents. They have our number and they have our email address too. So if something is happening to your child, a parent's child, you should call the parents. You get me? You should go to the headmaster's office and look into the records, the parents' record book, and call your students' parents. That's how it is done. Whenever a kid does something or a kid is sick, you call the kid's parents. You go through the records. And he said he didn't have my number, that's why he didn't call me. It was not intentional. That's what he said. It wasn't intentional. And I'm like, really? Young teacher Bio. When I met him, I've never met him before. This is my first time meeting him. This is my busy schedule. I have to, you see, parents, if you're a parent, if you're a guardian, check these things about your kids. Do not leave your kids like that. Whew. This is the time I wish I worked from home. Yes, this is like, I really wish I could work from home. This my job does not require that. I really envy those who work from home, and some stay-at-home moms who have their own businesses. But working for other people is not easy, or working for the government is not easy. If I work from home, I'll pay close attention to him. So what I say, but I have to work double shifts, go up and down. If you are home and your kids come home from school, look at yourself like that. This is one thing I love to do. Whenever I'm home and I see Michael, I have to check his body, what is going on his skin. I have to see who is maltreating him, what is happening. Ask him questions. Whenever they come home from school, ask him, what did you learn, what happened in school? These are things you should ask. They will tell you. You see, kids, if you establish that rapport with your kid, they will tell you a lot of things. My mother established rapport with me, so I never hid anything from her. I never hid anything from her. She knows me from inside out. So that is what I have done with Michael. I established this rapport with him so that he can't hide anything from me. So when I saw it, initially he wanted to say it's nothing. But I looked at the thing really carefully, and I'm like, no, this is not nothing. This is something. What happened? Then he told me everything, that the teacher used something to hit him. You know, kids there. If you beat him, he will say you beat him. He doesn't know intentional or not intentional. Being a guardian or a parent is not easy. Being a guardian, a foster parent, a guardian, whatever position you are, if you are taking care of a child, parenting is not all about you being the biological mother or father of the child. You can be a guardian and a parent. You're a parent. Anybody who takes care of kids, you're a parent. Seriously, it's not easy to parent. It's not easy. So me, I never judge parents because it's not easy, my people. It is not easy. I'll never judge someone. The only thing I'll say is you can discipline your child, but you can't inflict injury on your child. That is inhuman. Yes, and wickedness. I discipline Michael a lot. I never spare him. I discipline him a lot. Sometimes my mom used to be very soft on Michael until I started complaining that she will spoil him. Before nowadays, she disciplines him when he's wrong. I'm so happy with that. But I will not discipline him to the extent of hitting him with something like this or inflicting injury on him. You get me? I can't do that. I will discipline you, but I will not inflict injury on you. No. So we should, if you're a teacher watching me, you're a parent, you're a guardian, and you inflict injury on your child, that's bad. That's wickedness. That's inhumane. Discipline them. You know, Africans, we don't spare the rod, and we will not spoil the child. Yes, we discipline our kids, but you don't have to inflict injury on the child. Yes, I'm old school. Call me old school, but it works for me. It works for me. Any style of parenting is okay by me, so far as you do not inflict pain and injury on your child. You don't make your child feel less of a human being. You do not make your child feel not important, not loved. That's bad. After disciplining your child, you make sure you draw the child closer to you and pinpoint the areas he or she went wrong that made you to discipline him or her. You get me? After disciplining your child, you call the child and ask him or her, do you know why I disciplined you? Do you know why I did this to you? Because you did this and this, and if you do that again, you'll be, Let the child know the consequences of his or her action. Children are wise. If you train a child at a younger age, the child will be of benefit to you. If you spoil your children, they will bring pain and sorrow to you someday. So I'm not in support of the teacher even trying to hit another student. No. If students are doing something in the class, you shouldn't use a drumstick to beat the child. You can tell the child to kneel down and raise up the hand. You should not be beating the children. No. Gone are the days where we were afraid of teachers. Gone are the days students will be so afraid that they can't even go near a teacher and ask questions. I've been in that situation before. It got to a point I was so afraid of my teacher that whenever the teacher comes to class and asks, do you understand? Teaches and asks, do you understand? I can't say no, because I'm afraid the teacher will say, what bomb? You are not intelligent, or you are this, you are that. You get me? The bullying starts from school. It starts from with our friends, then it ends up in schools. The bullying starts with friends, then it goes to school. Even teachers are bullying kids. It's so sad. You remember what happened to this Sylvester boy? Look at what the students did to him. Brutally bullied and beaten by his own colleagues. They killed him. They ended up killing the little boy. That is why I'm so particular about schools. So I'm so particular about school. If I see that something is not going on well, if I see that Michael will not thrive in that school, I'll just change his school. That's all. I don't want wahala. I don't want to hear a story that touches the heart. Yes. You want to undergo through any pain and crying. I come against it. Against it. It's not easy, fam. It's not easy. We shouldn't inflict pain on our kids. Like me, I don't understand why, even if it is not intentional, you shouldn't as a teacher, you shouldn't even lift a rod on a student. Why? You can punish the student by corporal punishment. You can tell the child to kneel down and raise their hands for some minutes. Then the child goes back to sit down and you correct the child. Some children are so stubborn. Even if you talk to them, they will not listen. So you know how to deal with such kids. But you shouldn't inflict injury on a child. And if Michael hadn't collected that injury would have gotten to the other kid. You get me? Because he said he was about to use the cane or the stick to hit the other kid or say whatever. Charlie. It is well with us. So we have a long way to go. Let's always pray for our kids. Let's take care of our kids. And do not beat yourself that you are a bad parent. No, you are not a bad parent. You are doing your best. You are doing your possible best. Yes. Parenting is not easy. Being a guardian, being a parent is not easy. So do not beat yourself, okay? You're kind of saying, do not feel bad that you are not doing enough for your child. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.